Heroes Toy Reviews is not intended for children or anyone under the age of 17. Thank you.
Today on Hebrews Toy Reviews, we talk about Super7, the Baroness.
Hebrews77 here, and welcome to a brand new YouTube channel. This is Hebrews Toy Reviews. But this is the 1983 Jump Jetpack. I just broke his crotch. What do you think about her?
Totally.
I was playing tennis with Super. Some games. And this is the owner, Daniel.
Hello everybody, welcome to Hebrews Toy Reviews, and today, as promised, we will be talking about Super7 Baroness. Now, you've seen previous reviews where I've talked about the Super7 action figures, and I happen to have 2 copies of this, so I will be taking her out of the package, and we will be, of course, reading the file card and all of that. But first, a little brief history about the Baroness. There are a lot of different influences that went into the Baroness. Of course, the first thing I think about when I see the Baroness is James Bond. You think about the evil seductress, you know, the Russian spy who's for the other side, and also Natalia from Rocky and Bullwinkle. Or is it Natasha? I think it's Natasha. But anyway, with all of that being said, the Baroness is one slick chick. Now let's get on with the review. We are going with the green board for this one, even though I'm not doing any green screen. It does make this card back show up a little better. So here we have the Super7, the Baroness, and these Super7 figures, I've got to say, have been pretty awesome. I have reviewed a ton of them so far, but so far I've not taken any out of the package. And since I have an extra of the Baroness, as you can see here, I have an extra Duke actually. I will be taking this figure out of the package and giving it a proper review. So we look at the front of the package and we see Baroness, Cobra Intelligence Officer, and basically her role and Cobra would have been setting a guy up for the honeypot. The honeypot in the James Bond world or any kind of spy sort of world is to set a guy up, have a romantic relationship with him, and get him in a compromising position, you might say, and get him to spill the beans about certain secret information. That's what you call the honeypot. Now, with that out of the way, the card back looks really good. I like the explosion background, although I've always said this, the explosion background here on the reaction action figures, the G.I. Joe figures, could be a little brighter. I think these are duller colors. You know, if you look at a original explosion like this guy right here, you see brighter, more vibrant colors, and it sort of makes him show up a little easier too. But nonetheless, it does its job by showing off the beautiful artwork laid out here by Super7 and doesn't distract away from anything on the Baroness here. Now that we've seen the front of the card art, let's take a look at the back. On the back, we've got all of the figures that we've talked about before, and I almost bought this one off of eBay. And what I didn't realize is that the Sailor one, there's actually many different variants of them. There's a brown tan one. There's a black guy sailor one. There's one with a mustache. There's one with a goatee, I think, without the mustache. There's different variants, and I have not yet to see, not even this one, in any of the stores that I have frequented at. Of all the figures I think we've taken a look at here on the back, I don't think we've seen one card back with Destro, and I don't think we've seen one with this guy, Cobra Shock Trooper. Or maybe we have, and I just forgot. But Firefly over here, I did see at the store and almost got him, but it was either him or the Baroness. And I decided, well, I'm going to get a Baroness. So, with that being said, here is the Baroness's updated file card. And again, the picture is from the cartoon rather than original artwork. So here we go. Cobra Intelligence Officer. Primary Military Specialty Intelligence. Secondary Military Specialty Fixed Wing Pilot. Birthplace, of course, is classified. The spoiled offspring of wealthy European aristocrats, the Baroness graduated from student radicalism into interrogation, terrorism, and finally into the ranks of Cobra. She was severely burned during a Cobra night attack operation and has had extensive plastic surgery. Rumor has it that she is the only one who knows Destro's secret identity. Qualified expert on these weapons, M16, AK-47, RPG-7, Uzi, his tank operator. Wow, she's certified in a lot of weapons, let me tell you. And I thought she was just hot on the outside. Little Star Wars joke there. Okay, here's what it says in a quoted text. Her principal weakness is in the division of her loyalty between Cobra Commander and Destro. Her chief strength would seem to lie in her ability to play them against each other. And how true this is she seemed to have done so in the cartoon many times. Another little chunk of trivia here is that the Baroness in another dimension, in the episode entitled Worlds Without End, one of my favorite two-parters, by the way. In fact, probably my favorite two-parters of all time, Worlds Without End. In an alternate universe, this Baroness was married to Steeler. I bet you didn't know that. And then when the other Steeler from the other universe came to their universe, him and the Baroness actually got together and formed a revolution against Cobra Commander and Destro. So, there's a little bit of unknown trivia for you. And if you already knew that trivia, then kudos to you. Now let's take a look at what the Baroness looks like out of the package. Here she is out of the package, and boy does she look beautiful. And I got to admit, you know, when I was a younger man, I sort of had a crush on this fictional cartoon character. And, you know, how could you not? And then, of course, later when the live action movies came out, I had the G.I. Joe posters, and oh boy, did I look at those a lot. Anyway, this Baroness, as you can see, seems to have glasses that are, they're not removable, but they are like sort of more, they're not painted on, in other words. They're glued on fixed onto her head, which is good because let me tell you a little story. I had a Baroness that came with a 3-pack. I think it was her, Major Blood, and a Cobra Trooper. Or maybe Major Blood I think was part of Python Patrol. But anyway, no, it was her Cobra Commander and a Cobra Trooper. That's what it was. And the glasses were removable, and which was pretty cool, except for the fact that the glasses were removable, which meant very losable. So I ended up losing those glasses and haven't been able to find them since. So I don't know. But anyway, there is the Baroness. You can see she has her signature little stripes here that go up and down both legs. Her gloves are very cool looking with the little dashes in them. She has her chest plate harness type of deal. And a nice little belt there, a utility belt that goes all the way around. Nice, luscious, long black hair. And a really cool Cobra symbol on her chest. And of course, as with all the Super 7 figures, the arms and legs do not rotate. They move up and down. Well, they kind of rotate, but not in a way that... This is equivalent to a straight arm G.I. Joe figure back in the 80s. But yes, that's their basic functions. This version of the Baroness comes with 2 weapons. The standard plasma rifle and her trusty sidearm, which is probably taped to her inner thigh when she is laying in bed with a spy from the other side and wants to honeypot him into information. Gotta have protection, you know? Might be a little unbiased by saying this, but the Baroness is a top tier Super 7 figure. Just a wonderful figure. I love what they did to her. I love the remote. I love the glasses. The costume is perfect, and I think they do have another version of this one coming out in the blue uniform, which we are all familiar with the blue and black uniform more so than the gray uniform. And I do hope to see it soon. And, you know, my recommendation is you must add the Baroness to your Super 7 Reaction G.I. Joe collection. Well, there you have it. That concludes this week's toy review. Now, for our next toy review, I'm going to try to come up with something from Masters of the Universe Origins. Now, it'll tickle my throat, sorry. Now, I have been noticing a lot of new Masters of the Universe Origin figures over at Target, but I only have one Target in this area, so I would probably have to go to Missouri or someplace like that to get other figures. But I did see some figures that I passed over, and there are some ones that look pretty cool. But that's for another video, for another time. So remember, until next time, knowing isn't just half the battle, it's the whole damn war. See you next time.
Destro, come here. Stop that, Destro! I see you both clearly, and I am stunned!
She had something in her eye, Cobra Commander.
My eye she did.